UFC 294 is going to be Charles Oliveira going up against Islam Makhachev. It is the rematch that we've all been waiting for, but unfortunately, I believe that Islam Makhachev is going to get the job done once again and defeat Charles Oliveira, and I think he's going to do it in similar fashion. I think he's going to get a submission victory over Charles Oliveira once again, or he's going to win by unanimous decision. Reason being is because I think Islam Makhachev has improved his game so much, and we saw that against somebody who is considered one of the best fighters in the world, Alexander Volkanovski. I understand that Alexander Volkanovski is in a division lower than Islam Makhachev, but we considered and we gave, actually, not a lot of people gave Alexander Volkanovski a chance. He did better than I think what a lot of people thought he was going to do. I think a lot of people thought he was just going to get dominated, but he did a hell of a job. But I gotta say, there's not really that much of a difference to me from 145 to 155. Obviously, is a whole weight class, but Alexander Volkanovski, even though he's about 5'6", he will be very good in the 155-pound division. I think he beats everybody except for Islam Makhachev. So, and that was his biggest comp yet. I think he was bigger comp than what Charles Oliveira was when he fought him last October of last year. And this time, he showed great striking. His counter punches were fantastic against Alexander Volkanovski. Alexander Volkanovski had a tough time coming in and closing the distance. And obviously, Islam was out-grappling him for the majority of the rounds. He did a fantastic job. Charles Oliveira is obviously coming off an impressive win over Beneil Dariush. That was a great win. He was able to get a TKO victory in the first round, and he looked fantastic. This is one of the best performances that he's had. But here's the problem. I feel like Charles Oliveira is going to get overzealous. I think that Charles Oliveira is going to get frustrated at some points in the fight, and he's going to rush in, and he's going to get counterpunched by Islam Makhachev, and he's going to drop him once again. And when it's on the ground, Islam Makhachev is one of the best, and he's probably the best grappler in all of the UFC. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to find a choke. He's going to probably get a rear naked. I think it's going to be the same thing because he's going to get hurt. I think here's the problem with Charles Oliveira. His chin is not great. His chin is not great. You can say whatever he wants. Yes, he recuperates, he recovers pretty well. But with somebody who challenges him on the ground, he always has a problem, especially when he gets dropped. When he fought Dustin Poirier didn't want to, grapple with Charles Oliveira. He wanted to, just stand with him. That's why when he dropped him, he let him stand up. Same thing with Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje just let him stand up. It's the same thing with pretty much almost everybody, except obviously with Michael Chandler. We saw with Michael Chandler, he tried to get, to finish him, and he was actually, competitive on the ground against Charles Oliveira. But at the end of the day, obviously he ended up getting hit with a clean hook, and that was the end of the fight. But the thing with Islam Makhachev, him being the best grappler in all of MMA, it is going to be tough for Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira will have to hit him with something clean. Because, I'm not going to lie, Islam Makhachev's chin is pretty solid. It's a pretty decent chin. Even though he did get dropped by Alexander Volkanovski. It was definitely a weird knockdown for sure. If you go and rewatch that knockdown that happened in the 5th round, it was definitely weird. It looked like he wanted to shoot a takedown, but then when he shot for a takedown, I guess that he just got caught by Alexander Volkanovski. By the way, one of the greatest rounds in all of the UFC of this year, pretty much. That round 5 was absolutely spectacular. But here's the deal, man. Charles Oliveira, I feel like, obviously, there was, by the way, before the fight was even announced, Charles Oliveira didn't want to take this fight. I feel like he probably got a lot of incentive to take this fight. He probably got paid a big-time contract to take this fight and for somebody to face Islam Makhachev in Abu Dhabi. So that's why I believe that he's taking this fight. He doesn't even want to probably be there in the first place. Let's just be honest. He wanted to wait later on, maybe next year, maybe a Brazil card by any chance, to fight Islam Makhachev. And there was reports of that. But then, obviously, I feel like, the UFC and Dana White, they were like, listen, Charles, take this fight. Fight Islam Makhachev, and we'll pay you handsomely. And he's probably going to get paid very handsomely to fight this fight. And I'm not saying that Charles Oliveira is not going to be prepared. He will be prepared. He is training probably as I currently speak. He is training. He wants to become the lightweight champion of the world and solidify his his legacy. Even though his legacy is pretty solidified, he wants to be known as the lightweight GOAT. And to do that, he needs to beat Islam Makhachev. It's going to be tough to surpass the GOAT status of Khabib, but if there's anybody that could do it, it's either going to be one of these two guys. Let's just be honest. It's either going to be Islam Makhachev or Charles Oliveira, in my honest opinion, that will be the lightweight GOAT, you know, to possibly surpass Khabib. But here's the problem, man. I think Islam will win this fight, and I think he will get a submission, and I think it will happen in the 3rd round. I think that Charles Oliveira at first is going to be a little tentative because he knew what happened in the last fight. He's going to not try and rush in, even though he did rush in against Beneil Dariush, and he let everything hang out. He was like, you know what? I'm just going to charge Beneil Dariush. I'm just going to see if I can land something good, and that's what happened. He did land, you know, some clean shots on Beneil Dariush, but Islam Makhachev, his striking, to me, in my opinion, Islam Makhachev's striking is better than Beneil Dariush's, and I'm being honest. I think Islam Makhachev is consistently improving his game, and that's what he did. I mean, you saw how much he has improved. To me, it was an improvement between his fight with Oliveira and then his fight with Alexander Volkanovski. You're going in with one of the best strikers in all of MMA, and he kind of got the better end of the stick when it came to the striking department against Alexander Volkanovski. I think he struck better. He had a better striking performance than Alexander Volkanovski did. And obviously Volkanovski, he has to fight Makhachev a lot differently than how he fights somebody like a, you know, like a Yair or like a, you know, anybody else that he's fought in the division, in the featherweight division, because you have the threat of the takedown against, you know, of Islam Makhachev, and he was probably just practicing grappling. He was probably just, you know, doing a bunch of drills, grappling drills and stuff like that to get himself prepared. So it's a lot different, you know what I mean? But it was a great performance. I think he will outstrike Charles Oliveira. I think that he's going to land something clean, and then they're going to go on the ground. There's going to be some exchanges on the ground. There's going to be some instances that maybe Charles Oliveira could get a nice little probably submission. But I think with the defense, the grappling defense of Islam Makhachev, I think he's going to get the job done. I think he's going to find something, maybe a rear naked choke or something like that, and I think he's going to get the victory over Charles Oliveira in the 3rd round, probably middle or beginning of the 3rd round. And that is it. Still the champion at lightweight, it will be Islam Makhachev after UFC 294. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Charles Oliveira could get the job done? Or do you think that Islam is just too good and he will be still the champion after the next pay-per-view? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching the video. God bless y'all. And please like the video. It will help in the algorithm. And please subscribe if you are new. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.